1 in 5 women over the age of 25 will suffer from some kind of hair loss during their life, and yet still there's a huge stigma around it. Baldness in men, even though it's not easy, it is more accepted. So why, when so many women suffer from hair thinning and hair loss, is there still a huge taboo around it?
There is a false perception that thinning hair and hair loss is only related to older men and women. Hair loss for women at any age can be incredibly distressing. But for women under 30, it's a hidden problem that can be particularly traumatic.
So I've been looking on social media and I found this woman called Emily who suffers from hair loss. She's just uploaded a video.
Morning everyone, hope you're all okay and I've had a nice weekend. Yesterday I had a bit of a weird day. Went out with my friends and the whole day I was just in my head going into this self-destruct mode of just... Oh, sorry guys. I've just been so cruel to myself and like the stuff I say to myself, it's just awful. I know I'm a nice person, so why does this noise get so loud?
That video is so honest and I so appreciate her honesty. It's interesting because Emily's big question was, how do we accept ourselves? And that's what I can't wait to find out.
So why does hair loss develop in younger women? It can be triggered any time after puberty, with diet, stress, and hormonal changes all potential factors. But by far the most common cause of hair loss in women is female pattern hair loss, which, like men, is hereditary. Hair loss increases with age, but 12% of sufferers will have developed it in their 20s. And for some, it can escalate quickly.
Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you.
For 30-year-old Emily, it began when she was 18.
I've been losing my hair for just over 10 years now. You basically lose hair from the crown and the top.
Yes.
So you can probably see where it's darker all here and it's quite light here. So when I was losing it, you could see all my scalp and it was really hard to hide.
In female pattern baldness, the hair's growing phase slows down. Hair follicles shrink, leading the hair that does grow to be thinner and finer. People with this condition also tend to shed more hairs than the average person. In male pattern baldness, hair loss starts at the front of the head and recedes to the back until the person goes bald. But female pattern baldness starts at the parting of the hairline, or sometimes appearing all over the head. Treatment for female pattern baldness can include steroid injections and creams, light treatment and topical medication.
So I went to lots of doctors and sort of medical appointments. Stress was a big thing they'd say. Don't be so stressed, it will come back. And it kind of never really happened. You'd be in the shower and you'd have clumps of hair coming out. It was devastating. It really ruined how I felt about myself. Rather than just accepting it, I spent so much money on lotions and potions that just didn't do anything. And I was the girl that wore hats. It was the only way I knew to kind of fashionably cover it up without people asking questions. This is going through most of my 20s, really, which is a time where you go out with your friends, you know, you're going out with your boyfriend, enjoying yourself, and then to spend hours trying to cover up my baldness, it was exhausting. It was 10 years before I sort of thought, I really need to see a specialist. So by miracle, I managed to get an appointment, and she straight away told me what I had, that it wasn't going to come back, and that was that, really.
The dermatologist confirmed Emily's hair loss was hereditary, but the damage to her hair follicles was irreversible.
What was the lowest point, do you think?
Probably about 2 years ago, I was thinking about, I don't know if this is too deep, really. I was thinking about taking my own life because I didn't feel, I know, I wasn't going to say this, but it wasn't nice to feel the way I felt. And yeah, that was a real low moment.
How did you get from that incredibly low moment to the woman sitting in front of me?
I am quite stubborn, really. I'd had 10 years of misery and I just had enough. And I thought, right, okay, what else is there? How can I make this a positive? That's when I thought, do you know what? It's coming off. So I messaged my hairdresser and said, I want to have one final finale at the hairdresser's, have a really good wash, and let's shave this off. Let's just get rid of all the negative thoughts and energy that are in this hair.
What was it like waking up the next morning?
Cold.
Would you feel confident to go out in public without a wig?
Yes, I do most of the week, really. I don't wear my wigs. I feel like I've built my confidence back. You know, I've still got a long way to go, but I feel like a new woman. I've totally embraced it, and there's so much fun to be had.
If you have hair loss that you find difficult to cover up, around 50% hair loss or more, or your hair loss is a result of cancer treatment, you may be eligible for a wig on the NHS. For Emily, wigs opened a whole new world.
Ooh, what do we have here?
My beauties.
What your beauties?
Yes.
How do you feel about trying these on?
Yeah, of course.
Buying a synthetic wig through the NHS starts at around £70.
Oh, yeah. It's so gorgeous.
They last 6 to 9 months.
That cut.
Swoosh.
The cut is perfect. Who's next?
They're easier to look after than real hair wigs, but can be itchy and hot.
When do you wear this wig?
She's more sort of night outy wig.
Real hair wigs can range from £300 to £1,400.
She's cute.
Yes.
She likes to go out.
She does.
But they last up to 4 years and can look more natural than synthetic wigs.
You can have pink hair, blonde hair, brown hair, black hair. You can have whatever hair you want.
People are missing a trick, I tell you.
What are people doing? Last but not least.
Oof.
Oh, look, she's
I'm
beautiful.
trying to style her a bit. She's more towards the hair that I had before all of my issues happened. I used to have quite a full fringe and a lot of hair, really. Having all this variety really helped me.
For Emily, these are just a selection of an ever-growing collection.
Someone asked me the other day if I could click a button, would I have my old hair back? And actually, I'd probably be a bit hesitant on that button now, to be honest.
Well, you'd have to give her a
Yeah.
star. I'll have her. You have very much found the silver lining, and I really respect that.
Yes. I've wasted too much time worrying about my hair and it being a sad factor of my life. I just kind of had enough of it and needed to find what made it great again.
Hot flushes, they're one of the most common symptoms of menopause. And considering 3/4 of women will experience menopausal symptoms, that's a lot of us feeling the heat.
Hot flushes are most commonly caused by changing hormone levels during the menopause. It's not clear exactly how, but most research suggests they occur when decreased estrogen levels cause your body's thermostat, hypothalamus, to become more sensitive to slight changes in body temperature. When the hypothalamus thinks your body is too warm, it starts a chain of events, a hot flush, to cool you down. There are products out there that could help, but do they? To find out, I've enlisted Therese.
I am sick of hot flushes. They just keep me awake all night.
And Sunita.
I'm sick of them, get them all the time. I would take pretty much anything to stop them.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, take a seat. So, hot flushes are something you're both familiar with. Sunita, how old are you?
I'm 39.
And Therese, how old are you?
54.
So yours is a natural menopause time, and yours has been brought on by surgery.
Yes. I had ovarian cancer at 33 and then it came back at 2020 and I had both ovaries removed, so I've gone into surgical menopause. The symptoms are really nasty.
So do you get them in the day as well?
Yeah, I get them every hour on the hour.
Oh, gosh.
Get them at night as well, sweating.
I feel in awe now.
It is a competition and it is a prize.
Mine's at night only, and so I feel myself lucky compared to you.
Can you try and describe for me what it's like to have a hot flush?
I'm a burning in furnace. I'm just... And
So it's
then,
internal?
Internal, but then I will sweat buckets. You're up because you're boiling hot. You then need a wee. So then you get back to bed. Then you're hot again, so you drink more water. Then you get back to sleep, and then you're waking up and you're starting the cycle again.
Yeah.
You must be absolutely shattered.
Yeah, I am, but you're a mum, you're a wife, you keep going,
Just
don't
get on
you?
with it.
For me, if I'm having like a really bad one, it almost feels like fever. I'll also get palpitations and I'll go cold really suddenly and you can like I get shaking.
In my mind, it was just something where you got a bit hot, you need to open a window. From what you're saying, it's much worse. What do
Yeah.
you do to manage them at the moment?
Fans, wearing lots of layers.
Just to make sure that if you get hot, you've got things to strip down to.
Yeah, basically.
Are you up for trying a few products to see if they help?
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
We're going to test 3 drug and surgery-free products which could help you deal with the hot flushes in different ways.
So the first one I have is evening primrose oil.
Rich in omega-6 fatty acids, evening primrose oil is thought to have estrogen-like effects and balances hormones by countering low estrogen levels caused by the menopause. More balanced hormones should mean fewer hot flushes. It's best to check with your GP or pharmacist before taking supplements.
Also, what I'd like you to test is this.
Oh my God.
What do you think this is?
This is a resistance band. It may not look like much, but it can help build strength, muscle, and flexibility in a similar way to weights. Resistance training has been shown to reduce hot flushes in a recent study, and we want our testers to try it for themselves. They'll be instructed on how to use the band properly.
And the third and final product, I need to go and get a friend of mine to demonstrate. Hang on.
Oh, I hope he's 6'4" and got dark hair.
Step this way, my little friend.
Oh.
Here she comes. This is a wick away t-shirt.
Wow.
This is one of a number of wicking clothing lines, which may help tackle hot flushes. Wicking means to absorb or draw off liquid, so this is designed to help keep you dry and your body temperature comfortable.
You can see us at night, can't you?
Yeah.
Just going to take my primrose oil, going to do my resistance band in my new top. I'm going to look amazing.
Our testers have been instructed to trial all 3 products for over a 5-week period. They'll use the evening primrose oil for 3 weeks and the other 2 products for 1 week each. The testers will rate the products out of 5 in 3 different categories: ease of use, value for money, and effectiveness.
Keep a video diary. Be really honest about how you think they're working, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Fantastic. Cute.
We'll be back to find out which of these products really delivers. When it comes to our bodies and poor circulation, I'm afraid there could be another gender divide. Women's hormones, smaller body size, and lower metabolic rate mean that when the temperature drops, our circulatory system will divert blood away from the skin and extremities quicker than for a man. And this can cause far more than minor discomfort, as presenter and DJ Jenni Falconer knows only too well.
Hello there, Jenni Falconer here with you.
Jenni is a household name with her own daily radio show, who has only just begun to share what it's like to have a condition she's lived with for 30 years.
I was about 16 years old. I was playing hockey at school. I realised I was getting really weird white tips of my fingers, like the blood just stopped flowing. They looked like dead fingers. I thought it was like a new party trick. Check this out. Got no blood in this finger. And then it just happened more and more often, and always happened after being outside or being in the cold. When the blood does start flowing back, the best way to describe it is like extreme pins and needles and burning hot. It's really painful. I went to the doctor, and that's when he went, I think you'll find this is Raynaud's phenomenon. He said, there's nothing that you can do. You're just someone who has Raynaud's. And I went, oh, okay. That was that.
Last year, after a severe reaction, Jenni shared a picture of her fingers on social media.
My finger had gone completely white, and it looked really quite extreme. I couldn't believe the response. So many people came back to me and said, oh my goodness, I get that. What is that? And they were all talking about how it stops them doing stuff, or it hurts, or they didn't know it was actually a thing. I've realised thousands upon thousands of Brits suffer with this, and it'd be good if we all knew more about it.
Women are at least 4 times more likely than men to suffer from Raynaud's disease, a disorder that affects an estimated 10 million people in Britain. It's characterised by a loss of blood flow to hands, feet, nose and ears. Initial numbness as the blood ebbs away is replaced by an unpleasant and sometimes extremely painful throbbing when it returns. There are 2 types of Raynaud's: primary, which is more common, and secondary, which can be far more severe. Jenni wants to find out which type she has.
I've never been tested for anything to do with Raynaud's before.
I've just always assumed it's the milder version.
So I'm currently on my way to meet someone who's a complete expert, which is very handy because I have a load of questions for him.
We'll join her later as she finds out. Earlier, I met Emily, who suffered from female pattern baldness at just 18.
Specialist told me what I had, that it wasn't going to come back, and that was that really.
Whilst genetics is the most common reason for some women, there are other conditions which could be the cause. The story began for 26-year-old Elizabeth just over 10 years ago.
When I was 15, I stopped having my periods. So I went to the doctors, they did all the tests, ultrasounds, and then I was diagnosed with polycystic ovaries.
Polycystic ovary syndrome is a condition that affects how a woman's ovaries work and is often accompanied by high testosterone levels. It affects 1 in 10 women. It's this hormone imbalance which can trigger female pattern baldness and thinning hair. Elizabeth has spent a small fortune on products until she realised shampoo wasn't going to help.
And that's when the hair problems did start. Before my hair started falling out, I actually had a full fringe, what I really, really liked. But it got to the point where my hair was literally just falling out in clumps. I'd be brushing it in the shower, I always went out in a hat. I didn't really like my photo being taken. It wasn't until I sort of did my own research and then I put the link with polycystic ovaries with the hair loss. At the age of 21, you don't really expect to start losing your hair. It was fueling a lot of anxiety and making me quite self-conscious. And I was like, if I don't sort this out soon, my sort of fear was me ending up going bald.
So Elizabeth booked in to meet Dr. Nicole Chang, a consultant dermatologist.
When Elizabeth came to see me initially, I realized that she had a female pattern hair loss. Women tend to get this problem, especially when they hit menopause due to hormonal imbalances in the body. But some women can get it at an earlier stage when there is a hormonal issue. The condition comes on gradually and thinning happens very slowly over time. The earlier you seek treatment, there are more treatment options available. And this is because the hair follicles are still there, they are not lost.
Elizabeth's hair loss was at an early enough stage for Dr. Chang to start her on medication to block the effects of the male hormones. She also began a course of a new treatment called platelet-rich plasma, or PRP.
Hi Elizabeth, nice to see you. Come in.
After a first course a year ago, Elizabeth is back for a maintenance session.
So you're here for your PRP treatment. We will need to take a sample of your blood.
PRP uses the patient's own blood.
Okay, a little scratch.
Injecting the activated platelets found in a patient's blood releases growth factors that act on the hair follicles to stimulate cell regeneration.
This is about 12 mils of blood. We're going to put it in a centrifuge to spin it at high speed. This is what we get. This is your platelets and your plasma.
PRP injections for hair loss are not suitable for everyone.
We're doing multiple tiny injections on the scalp.
They can be painful for your scalp, and they're not available on the NHS.
We're focusing the treatment on the frontal part because this is where we see most thinning.
It's also not a quick fix.
How are you finding it?
It's okay, thank you.
It takes up to 6 months to start seeing results after each treatment.
Oh, nearly done now. Great.
But since her last session, Elizabeth has seen signs of improvement.
So this was one of the initial photos that we had of you. As you can see, there was some thinning of hair on the top of the scalp. This is a photo that we took earlier this year. And as you can see, the density of hair that we have now.
I can see that the hair looks a little bit more denser. Hopefully, as we keep doing the PRP sessions, it gets better. But I have noticed a lot of little bits of hair growth, so I do think it is working.
It's really good to hear that you're seeing some positive results from the treatments. Bye, take care.
It's really good to see the progress and the hair density getting better.
There are more treatments to come for Elizabeth, but hopefully the positive results will continue with every session.
I don't often film without makeup on, and that's because, frankly, I'm not really that comfortable with it. But that's because I've grown up knowing what the expectations of women are. Perfect hair, perfect skin, we have to be glowy all the time. And our relationship with our skin is deeply personal. And that's why when people experience skin problems, it can be devastating. Skin problems can happen to absolutely anyone, but there are some conditions that women are more prone to. We've got our ever-changing hormones to thank for that.
There are over 1,000 conditions, and around half of all women in the UK have anxiety about their skin. 36-year-old Fune has been living with a skin condition she's been keeping secret for decades: hyperpigmentation.
Hello.
Hi.
It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Now, I've been told that you have struggled with your skin and it's really been getting you down. But looking at you now, you are radiant.
Thank you, but I'm gorgeous because I have makeup on.
Tell me a little bit about how you've been suffering.
I started to have acne as a teenager. A few pimples there and there, picking them. Hyperpigmentation started. Sometimes it could look that my skin is not clean.
Hyperpigmentation is a permanently darkened area of skin that for Fune was caused by excess melanin being produced in scar tissue. It's a condition which affects a high percentage of women with black skin in the UK and is usually triggered by skin irritation or trauma.
Has it caused you a lot of anxiety?
It does every day, all day long. It's always in the back of my mind. I'm thinking, is it showing under my makeup? Having to put makeup every day is a bit like a mask. I'm hiding myself. It's not sustainable.
Fune has plucked up the courage to contact a specialist, and she's agreed to take me to her first appointment.
Shall we go and see what they've got in store for you?
Yes, let's go.
Dr. Ejikemi is a skincare specialist based in central London, with her clinic treating over 30,000 patients.
Okay, shall we take a look at your skin?
I know that you have not been super excited about this moment. Are you all right?
I'm all right. I think it's just the fact that a professional is going to see it now, you know?
It's worth the pain because we're going to try and find a resolution.
So come take a seat. I'm just going to cleanse your skin now, okay? You can gently close your eyes. We're almost done now, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to sit you back up.
What are you feeling inside?
I feel weird.
Why do you feel weird?
I feel emotional right now. So I'm holding my tears.
Why are those tears there?
It's nervousness about showing my skin.
So I'm going to show you, and I want you just to tell me what you see.
So yeah, I see my forehead. This is a big part of my face. This is a big part of my face. It just doesn't make me happy. I just don't want to see that face. I don't want to, bring me sadness.
Yeah, I now understand how much this affects you.
So the first thing you need to know, you have really lovely skin.
Have you seen my skin?
You do. You have lovely skin because you have healthy dermis, and that's the dewy bounciness in your skin. It's also important to know that having hyperpigmentation is bread and butter of black skin. If you have black skin, you know that at some point you're going to get a dark mark. So it's not so much worrying about, do I have a dark mark, but having a strategy that when you have a dark mark, you know what to do. So let's go talk through the plan. So the skincare routine that I want to start you on is quite a robust one.
For the next 4 weeks, Fune will use a series of solutions that slowly expose the skin in preparation for a chemical peel.
Skin is continually shedding, so it's a natural process that we're just accelerating. Over a series of peels, we're going to be able to treat that pigmentation.
I feel excited.
Really?
Yeah, I really feel excited.
It's hope, isn't it?
It is hope.
When her makeup came off, it was like her mask came off. There's no definite promise, so we'll see what happens. I just hope that she gets some results from this.
Earlier we met Therese and Sunita. Both of them suffer with menopausal hot flushes. They're test driving 3 different products that could help. The evening primrose oil is thought to help rebalance hormones and reduce the frequency of hot flushes. Resistant bands are used to exercise muscles in a targeted way, which is also thought to reduce the number of episodes. And moisture-wicking clothing should help keep you drier and more comfortable during a hot flush. Hot flushes have had a big impact on these women's lives.
When I get to bed, I can feel it crusading up my body. I'm not sleeping. That's then impacting on my work, impacting on my fog brain, and it's impacting on what I do during the day.
I get about 10 hot flushes a day since when I had my last ovary removed. It feels like a fever that's going inside of me. The surgical menopause is very acute. That's why I'm so looking forward to trialling these things.
The testers will take 1 capsule of the evening primrose oil 3 times daily for 3 weeks. They will follow this with daily resistance training for 1 week after a session with a certified physical trainer. And lastly, they will try the moisture-wicking t-shirt for 1 week. First up, the evening primrose oil.
I've never actually taken it before, but I've heard there's some really good benefits to that.
Evening primrose oil is packed with the beneficial fatty acid omega-6.
Oh, they're big capsules.
Which is thought to help balance those wayward hormones enough to reduce hot flushes.
I hope it'll have an effect on me. I like taking supplements because I need to try and lead a healthier lifestyle.
Next, it's the resistance band.
I have seen these, probably to catapult my husband or kids around the house.
When pulled, these bands provide resistance, so your muscles have to work harder, and so increase endorphin production in the targeted muscles, which is thought to play a role in alleviating hot flushes. Our testers will be under the instruction of a fitness trainer to ensure they get the most out of this contraption.
I am a little bit apprehensive about using this. I think I've just got some preconceived ideas that I'm not gonna be good at it.
Oh my goodness, good for your arms.
And finally, it's a moisture-wicking t-shirt. It's made from synthetic fabric that claims to whisk away the unpleasant sweat that accompanies those troublesome hot flushes. The moisture should then evaporate away rather than soak into the fabric, leaving the wearer dry.
Suffering with hot flushes, wearing extra clothing just seems a bit crazy to me.
It's sweat-proof and I can wear it at night. I hope it's going to help with my hot flushes and my night sweats and just make me feel comfortable more overall, really. So I'm really excited about this one.
So will any of this lot help those hot flushes?
The primrose oil is probably the easiest, but the band looks a bit of fun.
We'll find out later.
I've tried so many things. I just want to find something that works.
Hello there, Jenni Falconer here with you.
Presenter and DJ Jenni Falconer has been living with a condition called Raynaud syndrome since she was 16. It reduces blood circulation to her fingers so severely that she can lose all feeling, followed by a painful sensation when the blood returns.
I'm about to go and meet a doctor who is a complete specialist in all things Raynaud's. And I have a lot of questions, so I can't wait to meet him.
Dr. Ong is a consultant rheumatologist at the Royal Free Hospital.
Hi.
Hello there.
Do come in.
Nice to meet you. I feel like I'm meeting the person that knows everything.
Shall we take a seat?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a very common condition. There was a study that shows 1 in 6 people in this country has symptoms suggestive of Raynaud's.
Is it mainly women?
Women are 4 times more likely to have this symptom complex compared to males.
It isn't clear why women suffer more from Raynaud's, but a recent study suggests it could be linked to female hormones.
Why do we get it?
That is a very good question. I must say the underlying cause is not well understood, but there are 2 types, primary Raynaud's and secondary Raynaud's. Primary Raynaud's occurs on its own. In contrast, secondary Raynaud's is associated with other conditions, in particular autoimmune conditions.
Secondary Raynaud's is often linked with an underlying disease, affecting blood flow to tissue and organs. It could be the beginning of further medical treatment. The prognosis for Jenni rests on diagnosing which type of Raynaud's is causing her symptoms.
There are tests that we can do to try to distinguish primary from secondary that my colleague Dr. Kevin Harbour will undertake this afternoon.
Doctors don't make a habit of sticking patients' hands in ice water. However, they might make an exception if they think you have Raynaud's.
I think this is just your ice bucket challenge.
The ice water test or cold immersion test can be a good gauge of the condition.
How does that feel?
Well, it's okay at the moment, but I thought you might have made it colder.
Jenni removes her hands from the cold water after 1 minute. And Dr. Howells uses thermal imagery to see how quickly her hands warm up.
Although there's no visible reaction, thermal imager demonstrates that we have created a narrowing of the small vessels in response to cold.
If your fingers take more than 20 minutes to get back to a normal temperature, you may have Raynaud's.
So with some people, they warm up immediately.
The range of warming times that we see ranges from warm in 2 minutes, but summary warming times can be in the realm of hours. This allows us to put every individual patient somewhere on a scale. So there we are, after 10 minutes, we can see that your hands have now begun to rewarm, but it's been quite a slow process, hasn't it? So this does suggest a moderate form of Raynaud's. I'm not surprised that you do notice some symptoms on a day-to-day basis.
With her condition confirmed, the next test is to look for signs to suggest whether this is secondary Raynaud's, which could have a major impact on her need for further treatment.
Okay, I'm scared but excited at the same time now.
Dr. Howells is going to take a look at Jenni's capillaries in her hand. Healthy capillaries look ordered, like the teeth of a comb, and there are lots of them. If they are enlarged, or if there are fewer than usual, you may have secondary Raynaud's.
This is the all-important handheld microscope that can magnify the capillaries under the skin by around 200 times. If we place this at the nail fold, it's then quite straightforward to visualise the capillaries.
Wow, look at that.
Each individual loop there is an individual nail fold capillary. It's even possible to see circulation moving around each capillary loop.
God, I had no idea that's what it looked like.
Your capillaries are very regular, they're consistent in size and in very high numbers. There is no vascular structural damage. This is very suggestive of a primary form of Raynaud's phenomenon.
I'm actually quite relieved.
Now Jenni knows she has primary Raynaud's, she wants to find out what she can do.
What I want to know is there a way to stop it? Is there a cure?
No, but we can certainly control it well. The most important is keeping the core body temperature warm and keeping your fingers warm. And then to avoid triggers, exposure to cold is important, but going from a cold to a hot room, that can trigger it as well. And anxiety and stress are important. In 1/3 of the cases, stress is a major feature. There are different drugs which we can use, but prior to that, it's important to look at the lifestyle factors.
And I guess if you can manage it and live with it, then maybe you don't need to take anything.
Absolutely.
What an interesting afternoon it's been, and to find out a little bit more about Raynaud's syndrome and the different types. Also to have some clarification of exactly what I struggle with and how to deal with it and to manage the way we live our lives.
Yes, coming up. Earlier, we met 36-year-old Fune, who finally decided to seek treatment after living with a hidden skin condition called hyperpigmentation.
Why are those tears there?
Just don't want to see that face.
Specialist Dr. Ejikemi has suggested a series of chemical peels with a 4-week course of cleansers and creams to prepare Fune's skin.
All right, I'm going to start on your forehead. You can just gently close your eyes. A peel is essentially a superficial exfoliation, but the deeper you get, the more potential risks and the more specialist the peel. This really should be done by a specialist doctor who understands how to manage the complications. You all done?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That was 4 weeks ago. Today, Fune is back so that Dr. Ejikemi can see if the treatment is working, and I've been invited to join her.
Hello. Hi, Jerry. Nice to see you. Do you want to come through with me?
Fune has only had the first of 6 chemical peels.
Okay, so let's take off your makeup and let's have a look and see what your skin's looking like.
So there's no guarantee of improvement yet.
Now, before we look at how it's changed, I'm going to go back and show you your original pictures.
Okay.
This is your beautiful face before.
Oh my God.
So there was pigmentation on the forehead as well as the scar. There was pigmentation on the chin, across the cheeks, and along the jawline. This is where you are now.
Wow. Wow. The hyperpigmentation I've reduced is not the first thing I see when I see my face anymore.
Yeah. This is treatment 1 of 6, so it's amazing to see improvement already. The scar on the chin especially has really changed. And I expected that to move maybe right about the 3rd peel.
Okay.
And the jawline, I see some improvement in the pigmentation in the jawline.
I do as well.
And most of all, I see a change in your confidence.
Yeah,
and so I think that's really lovely to see.
Yeah. It's really helped me.
Okay, so you've got no makeup on right now.
No makeup.
We have a bit of time. The sun is shining. Do you feel brave enough to come for a drink with me?
Yeah, let go. Let me try, yeah.
This is amazing.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
See you for my next feel.
The treatment for Funet's hyperpigmentation is not the only way to treat this condition, and specialists may recommend other solutions, from topical creams to laser treatments. But the key for Funet has been to finally get help after years of hiding the condition.
You've got no makeup on. How are you feeling?
I'm conscious of it. I'm still like, I'm here, but I'm still here. And I'm still like, I'm here, I'm out.
I am so proud of you. If you could use one word to describe how you're feeling right now, what would it be?
Liberating.
Yeah.
I feel free.
That makes me full of joy to hear that.
It's a journey. I'm still on the journey, but getting closer.
But that's huge. Cheers.
Six weeks ago, I enlisted 2 brave women who have been suffering with hot flushes to test out the latest high street solutions to see if they really help turn down the heat. There's Therese.
I'm not seeing much of a change, really. I'm still getting the really hot sweats at night, but I'll carry on taking it and see what happens.
And Sunita.
A little bit anxious about this resistance training.
Their brief was to use each product for a limited period of time. The evening primrose oil is thought to have a balancing effect on hormones, which can calm the hot flushes. The resistant bands release endorphins that may be responsible for reducing the number of episodes. And the moisture-wicking t-shirt could help you to keep drier.
Welcome. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. Come, take a seat. So I sent you away with 3 products to test, and I think it's time that we reveal which one is your favourite.
The testers have rated all 3 products out of 5 in 3 different categories: ease of use, value for money, and effectiveness. The scores in each category will then be averaged and added together to reveal the overall winner, with a score out of a total of 15.
In last place was the resistance band.
Therese couldn't quite find the motivation to use the band, and it made Sunita's hot flushes worse. So scores were low for ease of use and effectiveness. But maybe over time they will see the benefits. The final score was just 6 out of 15.
I absolutely hated it. When I was doing it, it felt too regimented to me. I was getting stressed, and I think the hot flushes were coming on because I was stressed. So I actually feel like it made things worse.
I just found the resistance band so boring.
I suppose everyone's so individual. It's finding the exercise that suits you.
And motivates you.
Coming in second place, we have the Wicker Way clothing.
Scoring barely higher than the resistance band, the moisture-wicking t-shirt was a hit with Sunita, but Therese didn't find it helpful at all, and it scored especially low on value for money. The final score was 6.5 out of 15.
I can see that you're a big fan.
I wore it for bed. I sweated more.
Did find it did help, and I would wear it for exercise.
Now, in first place, the evening primrose oil.
No way.
Yes.
Our testers awarded it high scores for ease of use, and Sunita gave it a 4 for effectiveness. In the end, it came first with 8 out of 15.
I love taking the evening primrose oil.
Did it make your hot flushes better?
They decreased a little.
Okay.
Yeah, but is it having a placebo effect?
It's difficult to know. Are you confident they're working to some level, so you might continue taking them?
Yes, definitely. It's become part of my routine. I just love taking them.
If I'm really honest, I loved taking the primrose oil just because of what it was, but nothing touched my hot sweats at all.
So in conclusion, those hot flushes are really difficult to remedy. Where do you go from here?
I did want to try other things to see if it would help, but it hasn't. So yeah, I'm on the phone to that GP and going on the HRT.
I am definitely going to continue taking the primrose oil, and I am certainly going to be using the Wickaway clothing.
And what are you both going to do with that resistance band? It was quite interesting how much Therese didn't like some of the products and how much Sunita did like them. It just goes to show that no one solution fits all. So I suppose the lesson is go out, experiment, and find something that works for you.
The information given within the series about medical conditions and treatments is provided for informational purposes only. Advice on any of the issues featured should be sought from a medical professional.